DoubleTake bloody mirrors. So I said in a previous video that I was going to do a, on the DR650 walk around video, I was going to do a review of the DoubleTake ram mounted mirrors. Now if you're going to ride this stuff, yeah, I'd still get them. Mainly because, like, I've dropped my bike 3 times now, under 5-10 k's an hour, but nothing serious. But the mirrors, the stock mirrors, always seem to bend, so they always got moved, and so they were getting hit, and it wouldn't have taken very long for those mounts to suddenly get to a point where, no, we can't tolerate this anymore. The stock ones, that, you know, they don't vibrate. You get a fairly smooth image in them, so you can see cars quite well in them, and people behind you, which is quite handy. But the biggest downfall with them, and I think this is the reason why a lot of people change them, is the lack of kind of visual area that you can actually see out of the mirror itself. I still had a feeling where I had to lower my arm to see what was out of the mirror, and I couldn't extend it. You can't do much adjustment in them to get them to show much more than that, whereas on my old bike you could. So it was really kind of strange, that I found. Such a simple little thing, and it seems so kind of, why didn't, you know, this bike's been running for how long? 20 years? And no one has even thought about even changing that yet? I don't know, seems odd. So they're the reasons I changed. I think they're the cons. The pros were the less very little vibration in them, and it's one of the reasons, you know, I'd keep them. DoubleTake. Reasons I bought them. They're foldable, so I can switch that over when I go on a trail, and when the bike falls over, they do the same thing, so they don't break, not without some massive thing happening. They're fairly, other reasons, they give me a lot more visual view. They actually sit above my elbows now. Now I don't know if the stocks actually will now do that, because I did raise these handlebars 2 inches, so they actually might do that now. I bought the DoubleTakes on 3-inch mounts, just in case, just to make sure they did. Like, they're pretty tall, and when I get off the bike, I'll do a little walk around and just show you. Negatives, I'd have to say, would be they vibrate a lot. Even though everybody seemed to say, oh, they're great, they don't vibrate, they're fucking awesome, they're just as good as stock, blah blah blah. Bullshit, all I have to say. On the freeway, you cannot see anything behind you. You can see a rough thing of a car, but they just, yeah, there's just too much vibration there that gets transferred through the handlebars. And I'm talking about a DR here. It might be completely different for, say, a V-Strom, which is smoother, has less vibrations, but that's the negative DoubleTake's part. I'm not entirely sure if there's some way of fixing that, but maybe. They were taking a whiz. Back to the double takes again. Get sidetracked so easily. There's just too many visual stimulants around here, guys, you know? It's fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. Alright, so back to double take again. So, the double take mirrors. So, you undo this shit. This little... They're pretty tight. Then they can go anywhere you like. Well, anywhere you like in a kind of like a 180 degree fashion with a little bit of, what would you call that, 25 degrees backwards and forwards in all that motion. So you can sort of put them out in front of there when you're riding along a trail, for example, and tighten them off, and it's done. It's pretty good, I think. I'm going to fix that later. The mount down here, so to get to it, you can just undo this fully, and this will all come off. So you can then adjust it here too if you want. It gives you an extra, I don't know, 60 degrees swivel play. It's quite nice. It allows you to get them in the kind of really the right position you want them, which is quite handy. They're bloody solid stuff. I don't see them breaking. And then when you hit the ground, they can just sort of, they move in their joints even though they're tightened off. So that's kind of nice about them. I like them as a mirror. I think they look quite good. I like how you can, how simple they are to just undo with your hand. That's my favourite thing about them. So as I've said previously, these do vibrate. Like, if you're going along at 100 k's an hour, you won't see a huge amount behind you. There's just enough to... I don't know if it's the bike itself that's doing that, or the mirrors just do that. So if you let me know in the comments, you know, what bike you ride and if you've got them and if you have the same issues. Maybe there's something that's simple that possibly fixes that problem too. I don't know. So let me know. Cool.